Hi, I'm Streaky, this is Metropolis Mastering. Today I'm going to talk about lower mids. So, low mids, why would I want to talk about low mids? Well, for me, I'm a bass low mids guy. Top end, as I've said before, very easy to sort of use as to make it sound open and bright, which is very easy to do. Anybody can do that. Turn a bit of top on it, opens it up, happy days. But the way to get a track sounding really good is to worry about the bass and the low mids. The the high mids, which is a totally different video for another day, they're more to do where the snare and the top end, the hits and all that, and that's very important to make things sound clear, because that's round about the 1K mark is where your ears really pick up most of that sound. So to get some sharpness in the track, that's what you want to be doing there, but I'll cover that at a later date. But the low mids really is where you're getting that kind of big sound, the big, that's where the power's coming from. So you're getting if you've got the very low, the subs and the kick and stuff right, and that's your foundation, then building on top of that foundation, as I've always said, I start from the bottom to the top. So I've already sort of worked out the low end, then I'm getting into the low mids, where I may do some cuts around 200, 170, very small cuts. I might add at say 600, 500, maybe 300, depending on the track. Obviously, it's always worth testing. I'm always only adding about a dB or so, changing the cues, see what they sound like. But really, it's like compressing in those areas where you might have a multi-band, compress that. It's just to get this big, chunky sound. Now, the problem the problems you do come up against, if you add too much in the sort of 600 area and round there, then it's going to start sounding boxy, and it can sound a little bit, it just doesn't sound right, it just doesn't, it's a bit clunky. So it's a real balance between getting it to not be boxy, but to getting it smooth and just having this sort of like really nice thick area around there. So to get around that, sometimes it's worth trimming a bit lower in the lower mids and just adding a little bit above, because sometimes if you trim too much, if you've got a snare drum or the bottom of the vocal, they're obviously down there and around the 600 to 800 area, so they're going to start sounding thin. So this is all about just getting thickness and glue down there, so that you've got that driving and that bottom end's kicking, and to get the separation between any bass guitars or any higher bass notes and your low kicks. This is the area where you've really got to concentrate on your EQ and get it tight. Excuse me, and getting it wider and bigger. So I would suggest trying a multi-band from 100 to 1K, using that with different settings. So you might have a faster setting on it there, because you don't want it to sound too slow. You want it to still be punchy, but you want it to be large. What else did I suggest going there? I mean, overall, I don't try and compress too much around there, because it can sound a bit thick. But I would definitely say give it a go. But it depends on what compressor you're using. EQ wise is definitely the key for me there, and it's just working out where I can slice out of the lower stuff so that I get that separation, and where I can then add a little bit more and to bring it up. Now, parallel compression can work a lot there as well, by mixing the two compressions together, very heavy on one, light on the other, and pushing them together to get that kind of bounce. As I say though, that's a trick that you shouldn't use if you're not too experienced. But anyway, the main thing to think about is thinking bass and low mids, because they are really important, and I think a lot of people miss the fact that low mids are one of the most important areas to get that really strong, big sound. I know a lot of American mastering engineers think about it in that way, and I do a lot of hip hop and a lot of dance music, and that's really where that kind of groove and that feel and thickness come from. The big heavy snares and the really warm sounding vocals. That's about it then. I hope that helps. Please ask me any questions in the comments. Please subscribe, And until next time, thanks for watching. Go to streaky.com for more of this, and we've got a podcast there, Shay and I, where we expand out longer, half an hour or so, talking about various different audio engineering subjects, mixing, mastering, what have you. So thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.